So it's been recorded my entire life that there are a lot of times where I can do things that other people cannot do, and it causes a lot of jealousy, a lot of frustration, and therefore leads to a lot of chaos, discooperative behavior, et cetera, in existence, causing a bunch of social issues that are just not desired. I can explain why this occurs and why, to those competitors that think that they can be the only ones that do it and no one else can, the more that you actually learn how to do these things, the less that you can attack me while I do them. So there's two things going on. So this is a level that everyone usually observes things on. I call this the mechanical application. The mechanical application is pretty much seeing things physically occur and then organizing on a physical occurrence rule how those things can happen. So pretty much you see a ball hit the ground, you know that you can grab a ball, drop it. It pretty much never seeing things beyond the point of how a ball even came into existence. Now, regardless of what you think, we have control and interaction with the physical plane. In fact, the things cannot really be safely physical until they are logically stable. And so we have this level, which is logical application, which is the concepts, the epth, the logic, the organized structure that justifies any physical application. Now, this is inherently why it is impossible to make a perpetual motion machine, because physical objects, physical things cannot just exist forever. They cannot, not without logical justification. And this is to prevent something from becoming permanent and just spreading throughout all of existence without any concern for what's there. That's why it's pretty much like a security structure. And so here's what happens. You guys see something occur, and you see the physical application of it, and you notice, based on some physical applying rules, how it works, how it occurs. And then you want to know, on a logical level, what all makes it possible, right? And so the logic is still kept within a physical application. You squeeze these muscles, or because gravity works this way, or because this goes this way, you can now do that if you apply it yourself physically this way. But what you don't understand is the specific articulated logical application that is occurring at the same time that the physical application is occurring. And so if we were just physical, you would only have the motion of moving this way, right? This would just be physical motion. But the logical application allows for greater navigation. When you combine these two fields of operation, you are now able to move in many different directions, creating intense variation, allowing for us to be in more positions separated and variated from one another than rather than just there being only enough space for this. And so pretty much, let's say I figure out the logical structure for flying and there's nothing that's disproving it just isn't happening. Why is it not happening? It's because of this. Let's say you see me flying one day, right? And you see the physical application, and you just go back and you see everything that I've ever said about it, and then you go, okay, I know those things, I can do it now. And some of you have gotten clever. Some of you understand the contradiction that is shared understanding. And so let's say one of you gets the clever idea of taking the same logic without actually respecting the intense position that I went through. To get there, you decide to go to the top of a building and you say, I'm using all of the logic that he uses. I will jump off this building, and if I die, that means that what he's doing doesn't make sense, and none of this makes sense, and it will confuse everybody, right? And so let's say you jump off, right? You jump off and you die. Everyone observing gets confused because they're all like, what's going on? This doesn't make any sense anymore. This isn't adding up. What is this? Yada, yada, right? And it causes chaos. Chaos is painful. Nashemev does not like chaos. Existence does not like chaos. So it's all like, ouch, ouch. All right. So because you're willing to do this, what it does is it says, all right, fine. Because you don't understand and I'm not trying to deal with all that, he can't fly anymore. Boom. Now if I jump off the building, I'm going to die. Now we'll both die. Look at what you did. Now we both can't do it. Now we both can't do it. All right, so here's how this works. What you guys do is whenever I go through the intense process, see how I did draw it there, but let's add some of this there. Let's add some of this, right? Let's add some of this, right? So I create an intense structure of like there are arguments disproving what I'm trying to do. There are arguments and suggestions disproving what I'm trying to do, and using both combined fields. I'm just gonna draw it like this again. I find a logical path to get there, right? But you, not really concerned with this, say, no, I did what he did, look, only following just the short motion lines that you were able to observe. And so, while I get there and I logically justify it, it means that whenever you go, wait a second, how come when I'm doing this, it doesn't work for me, but when he's doing it, it works for him? It's because of the difference in logical position here. I can go ahead and draw the whole thing like this. It's because of where you did it in all the logical stability of rules in nature, where you had no concern for logical stability. In fact, doing this move, it's gotten it to work sometimes. Sometimes because of this and thread and chaos, you guys get the same ability as me without having to do all the work that I did to get it. But then there are times where it just decides to cut us both off because it's not dealing with that. Like for instance, if I were to justify like, you know, jutsus, like fireball jutsu or something like that, do you know how many of you would burn each other over dumb shit? So no, it's not happening. Even if I was capable of doing it, it's not happening. No, y'all aren't getting that. So I go through the whole process of articulating it finally within both fields, and maybe even fields that you can't even comprehend at this level because I've oversimplified it. And all you see is the physical application, and you just think that if you repeat that really, really hard, that you're going to get there too. But this required for me to find, like in a locatable grid, this required for me to, like a single point, find the exact right spot. But you're only finding the spot, oh shit, hold on. Finding the exact right spot. You're only finding a spot here. I'm finding it here. You get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? So here's the rule though. You guys are all like, all right, you just told us, and I have all this logic in my mind. So now what's the difference? Here's the thing. You still want to be able to do it, but you don't want me to be able to do it. And here's the thing. Remember that rule that I told you guys yesterday about how the more concepts that you and another person have lined up in their mind, the more that you guys are experiencing the same reality together? Well, it also occurs that the more concepts that you have in the mind of in your mind that the more of the same concepts that you have in the mind of that someone else has in their mind. What the fuck is it? So this is where you guys see what I'm saying? Why did I mess up on trying to disprove you can do it and I can't? Why am I messing up there? Come on, guys. How old are we now? How long have we been here? Why am I messing up on explaining why you're not going to be able to do it and me not be able to do it? Why are we scattering here? What's going on? Pay attention. All right. The more of the same concepts that two people have in their minds, the less that one of them can attack or reduce the other without it immediately falling back and reducing themselves. Because the rules that you would have to reduce them would also be used to reduce you. Meaning you cannot try to find a way to disprove a similar structure to yours without also accidentally disproving yours in the process. So, the reason that you guys can't do the things that I can do is because when I just tried to explain why you couldn't stop me from doing it after you learned how to do it, I just started getting confused and not being able to explain it right because you don't want to hear that. Why don't you want to hear that? That's why. That's why. So that means that I'm still doing these things, but you just don't have permission to perceive it because of how you are, because of this shit right here.